because the main purpose we had was the district as a whole. If you want it created with that way, no problem to it. It's simply dropping out the OHO teachers for the most part, staff and that. And as we pointed out, we will not lose all the OHO students. If you were to approve it and put OHO in Shiprock, a good number of those students are still going to come to Kirtland as they are right now. So we're saying, just do what's going to happen anyway. Over 150 students, their parents bring them from the OHO area to the Ruth N. Bond and Grace B. Wilson schools every day. We have about 90 students from Shiprock whose parents transport them to the Kirtland schools every day. Why do they do that? They do that because, as I pointed out, the Native American students in the Kirtland schools score 12% better in math and 16% better in reading than their counterparts in the rest of the district. The parents understand that. The parents are voting with their feet. The parents have a choice. That's what we're asking. Choice is being cut out here. A lot of parents have left Kirtland and moved to Farmington to move the choice. They've been transporting their kids. Farmington is shutting the gates. If you do not live within the boundaries of Farmington, you will not be allowed to go to school in Farmington. We have families who have sold their homes. We have families who have left their homes on the market to move to Farmington because of the issues that they see for their children. You try selling a home with the emotion that's out there right now, a lot of families do not want to buy a home within the boundaries of Central Consolidated.
I'm going to interrupt you just to stay on point. Last, and it's more of a comment, just wanted to make you aware that many of your math and reading proficiency rates that you included in tab N are incorrect by 1 to 2 percentage points in comparison with PED's data, and it's no comment needed, just want to make that point.
I'll double check them, but I took it right off the printout, the AYP printout.
Thank you, Mr. Manning.
You bet.
All right, Mr. Melendez and Mr. So, please proceed with your presentation. You have 45 minutes total, and you may call anyone you'd like to assist you.
Madam Secretary, good afternoon.
We can't hear you.
Madam Secretary, members of your panel, my name is Arthur Melendres, and our law firm represents Central Consolidated School District. On behalf of Central Consolidated Schools, we are pleased and happy to have the opportunity to share the Central Consolidated School perspective. Let me say that during our 45-minute presentation, Central Consolidated School District intends to have the following individuals present their thoughts about the new district. First would be Superintendent Levinsky. Next would be Pandora Mike, who is the Director of Curriculum and Instruction. Third, we will ask Olivia Kine, who is the Director of Academic Support. Fourth, President of the School Board of Central Consolidated School District, Matthew So. And we have a special guest here, and we would like to include Rex Lee Jim, who is the Vice President of the Navajo Nation, within our 45-minute presentation period. If there is time, Rick Nez, who is President of the Central Consolidated School District Indian Education Committee, will speak within our time. I want to make just a couple of brief comments before the speakers begin. First of all, we appreciate very much your offer to supply additional information in writing after this hearing. We were handed this packet of material from Mr. Manning just as the meeting began, and obviously we are not in a position to give you a detailed analysis of that today, but we intend to read it carefully, especially looking at the assumptions that were made in presenting the data, and we will respond within your 5-day timeline. I want to also say that we are happy to have clarified that what we're really talking about now is option B, not option A, as I understand what Mr. Manning said. And we are also happy to learn that we are not in the petition method anymore, but we are under the authority of the Secretary on your own to create a new district. So given that, we're not going to spend much time focusing on all of the petitions. We're in a new ball game starting this afternoon. And finally, I'd like to say with regard to the legal, it's not whether Mr. Quayle is correct. The question is, what if a lawsuit is filed? What is the impact of that lawsuit on both districts if you were to create two districts? And so we are doing our very best, as will you be, to look at a crystal ball, if you will, and try to anticipate what happens if. So with those brief comments, I want to say that the information that we have suggests that, and this is from a policy perspective, which you are the policy decision maker, we don't think splitting a district when a number of citizens believe that the elected school board by a majority vote is moving in a different direction than the citizens thought they would. We believe that democracy requires a longer view, and so over the 4-year period that elected officials are there, there's an opportunity to moderate or modulate, or at the next election to have a different view restored. From a governance perspective, we don't really think it's a good procedure or policy when the vote of the majority of the board is made and there are people who disagree to have, in essence, a petition for a new district. We think the better view is for everyone to roll up their sleeves, work cooperatively together, and attempt to solve problems. We will look at Mr. Manning's cost information, but our data indicates from a cost perspective that operational costs will in fact increase by splitting the district. Our information, which we will supplement, indicates that capital improvement costs will increase for the Central Consolidated School District, and with both districts as it now exists, providing high-quality facilities is best done with a unified district. Finally, having read Mr. Manning's petition and being as respectful as we can with regard to what was written, and we understand new material is presented, the Central Consolidated School District has this feeling that we are moving from inclusivity to exclusivity, and we don't think that's the way we should be going in 2012. I'd like to now call on Superintendent Belinsky.
As we transition, I'll just ask a quick question. Mr. Manning, was it your intention to take off the table or abandon option A, or is it just your preference that option B taken?
Our preference, option B.
Madam Secretary, my name is Don Levinsky. I'm the superintendent at Central Consolidated. Madam Secretary, I want to thank you for allowing us to speak on our students and our district's behalf. I would like to introduce my directors real quickly, and I'll be as brief as possible because we have several speakers. Pandora Mike, if you'd stand, Director of Curriculum, Instruction, Staff Development. She has a master's degree and years of principal experience. Alvin McNeely, She is the Director of Administration and Student Success. She has 2 master's degrees and years of successful principal experience. Olivia Kine, she has 2 master's degrees. She's Director of Academic Support. She has 2 master's degrees and finishing her doctorate. Phil Casper, he's our Director of Human Resources. He has a master's degree and years of successful principal and central office experience. Dr. Andrea Sham, who's Director of Finance. She has an MBA, a doctorate in school administration, and years of banking, principal, and central office experience. Edward Marquez, he's the Director of Operations. He has 2 master's degrees. The split of the district's effect on students. Just the talk of the district split has had an emotional impact on the reservation students whose families have attended Curtin schools for generations. They were not even considered when the petition was being passed around to sign. All the chapters were where the students attend Curtin schools attendance area and the Northern Navajo Agency have passed resolutions of a desire to keep the district together and try to work in harmony. And I have all these resolutions with me. About half the students that attend Curtin schools live on the reservation. Imagine how unwelcome they feel. Even option B, that includes students in the proposed district, they were an afterthought. And only input has been the chapter resolutions that are against the split. The proposed district counts on many of those students attending the proposed district. I'm concerned that a number of students could and would transfer to the proposed district, assuming their parents are able to provide transportation. This would help the proposed district financially without being concerned with increasing the Navajo voters in the new district. Therefore, in order for reservation parents to have their children go to Curtin schools that their families have gone to for generations, they would not only have to transport their own children to school, but would also give up their voting voice they currently have in their child's education. The uncertainty of where students might attend would make it very difficult, at least initially, to come up with a reliable budget. We currently do not have enough elementary and middle school classrooms on the reservation, and I know that the reports that Mr. Manning provide may say it differently, but if you're in school, I know that my middle school, they said could hold another 300 kids. I just don't know where you put them. We do not have to house all the elementary and middle school students that reside on the reservation. Although students may not want to go to a high school other than Kirkland, we should be fine in terms of the number of classrooms at the high school level. There is room at Ship Archive.